Ahlan wa sahlan. Welcome to Qasid Online. This is Ayub Palmer, and I'm an Arabic instructor for Qasid Arabic Institute. This is the 19th video in our Arabic letters series, and we'll be learning about the Faa and the Alif Maqsura. You can take out your writing worksheet and follow along with this video if you wish. For those who don't have the worksheets that accompany this video series, please fill out the form at the end of the video, and Qasid will have them sent to you. Let's get started. So we have four main objectives in this lesson. The first is to pronounce the Faa and the Alif Maqsura correctly. The second is to recognize the Faa and the Alif Maqsura when we see them in a word. The third is to write the Faa in its different forms. And the fourth is to pronounce and write the Faa and the Alif Maqsura in a word. And the word we have for this lesson is Fata, which means young man in Arabic. Now let's look at the pronunciation of these two letters. So here we have the Faa and the Alif Maqsura. Now the Faa is quite simple because it's very similar or almost identical to the F in English, as in the word freedom. Now the the Alif Maqsura, here we have Alif Maqsura, is essentially an alif. So it's an a or a sound, just like the long vowel alif. So it equals a long vowel alif. Now you might wonder, why then does it look like a ya? And it does look like a ya. But if you'll notice here, there are no dots. And so the Alif Maqsura is a ya without the dots. And this ya without the dots is essentially an alif. And so it is pronounced like an alif, even though it looks like a ya. But how do you tell? Well, it doesn't have any dots underneath it. That's the main way to tell that this is an Alif Maqsura. Also, the Alif Maqsura always comes at the end of a word. And that's another way to tell that it is an Alif Maqsura. Now let's look at our alphabet. So here we have the Arabic alphabet again, and we are discussing the Faa and the Alif Maqsura. Now let's look at the different positions of the Faa and the Alif Maqsura in our four positions. And remember, there are four positions for each Arabic letter. And so the independent position here, the Faa will look like this. Okay? In the initial position, the Faa will look like this. Don't forget the dot. In the medial position, the Faa will look like this. And in the final position, the Faa will look like this. Now the Alif Maqsura only occurs in the final position. So we have here the Alif Maqsura here in the final position. Now actually it could occur also in the independent position. So let me actually correct that. It's also the independent position in which it looks like that. The difference, though, is that even though these are independent and final positions, the Alif Maqsura will always occur at the end of the word. At the end of a word. Now let's write these letters together and practice. I'm going to change my color to yellow. Okay, so we're doing the Fa here. And the Fa in the independent position looks like this. With the dot like that. Let's do it again. Like that. Like that. So that's our Fa. Now in the initial position, again it looks just like that, but it's going to connect to another letter. Let's do it again. Like that. Like that. Now, let's look at the medial position. Here we're going to connect, and then it's just a loop, basically. With a dot. One more time. Connect, loop, with a dot on top. One more time, connect, loop, with a dot on top. Great. Now let's do the Fa again in the final position. So the Fa in the final position, we're going to connect and then loop, and then it's going to look, the rest of it's going to look like the independent position. Connect, loop, like that. Connect, loop, like that. And then we have our Fa in the final position. Now the Alif Maqsura is going to look like this. Let's do Alif Maqsura. Okay, and we have the independent position. It's going to look like this. Again, it looks just like a Ya, but without any dots. One more time. Just like that. And we have our final position is going to look like this. Connect and like that. It's going to connect like that. More time. Connect like that. Okay, now let's write the Alif Maqsura and let's write the Alif Maqsura and the Fa in a word. And let's just recap here in our 4 positions. So the independent position for the Fa looks like that. Initial position looks like that. Medial position like that. And final position like that. In the Alif Maqsura we have the independent position like that, and the final position, excuse me, actually I made a mistake here. Okay, so in our final position it looks like that. Going to connect from the right. Okay, so the word that we're going to write today is Fata. Fata. Okay, so you hear the Fa at the beginning. So that's going to be, we have a Fa at the beginning. Plus a Ta, Fa. Well, we have a Fatha, Fa, Fa. Fatha. Plus a Ta, Fata. So we have a Ta. And then we have an A, Fata. So that's going to be our Alif Maqsura. Now you might want to, or you might wonder, why do we put the Alif Maqsura instead of the Alif? Well, you have to memorize the word if it has an Alif Maqsura, because it sounds just like an Alif, a long vowel Alif, but you have to memorize the way it is written. Okay, so Fata, this word Fata, is written with an Alif Maqsura at the end and not a long vowel Alif. So that's just something you have to memorize. So now we're going to connect. Okay, and so the fa and the ta, these two connect. Okay, and these two also connect. Okay, so we're going to have the fa. Fa will connect with a fatha on top. And then we have the ta. And then we have the final ta. And so we have our word fata, meaning young man. Now let's write this a few times together. Okay, let's change the ink to yellow. Okay, so we have fata. So we're going to write fata together. We have an initial fa, and then a ta, and then an alif maqsura. Let's do it again. We have a fa, ta, alif maqsura. One more time. Fa, ta, alif maqsura. And there we have the word fata, meaning young man. Now let's recap what we've done so far. So the letter fa in Arabic is like the letter F in English, as in the word friend or freedom. The alif maqsura is pronounced just like a long vowel alif. The letter fa connects to letters both before it and after it. So in the third position, the fa looks like this. It connects to letters both before it and after it. The alif maqsura is only written at the end of a word and looks like a long vowel ya, but has no dots beneath it. And so you can see that the alif maqsura here at the end, which connects here, looks like a ya, but has no dots. So please download the writing worksheet and practice writing the fa and the alif maqsura on your writing or letters worksheet. And also don't forget to download the letter combination chart and the reading activity that goes along with this video. And also, if you would like to get a hold of our entire set of worksheets that go along with these video tutorials, please see the instructions at the end of this video or in the text bar below. Look forward to seeing you back here again at Qasid Online. Ma'as salama.